Every FIFA member is on this wheel, and whatever country it lands on, we have to sign an over 30 player from that nation. And we've been given Austria. That's actually a pretty nice start. Marko Arnautovic would be a pretty decent striker for us, but I don't think we're going to find a better left back than David Alaba. Now, it's important we pick well, because we're going to spin the wheel 25 times to build a 25-man squad. Then I'm going to give 10 of the best managers in the world 1 season to try and win the Premier League with this squad. And the last manager is literally the best manager in the world. I think Alaba is a great pick though, so we're going to take him for pick number 1. So back to the wheel for pick number 2. Hopefully it gives us another really nice pick. And we've been given Nigeria. Oh, it was just 1 away from England. If we'd been given England, it would have been Harry Kane. I actually think Igalo is a solid pick here for Nigeria. He is a good striker. And despite being 34, his physicals aren't actually that bad. 2 picks so far, and it's going pretty well. Surely at some point we're going to get given someone like San Marino. Or maybe this time around, we're going to be given France. This has been perfect so far. There are so many amazing players in France over the age of 30. It's actually insane. Given we just got Igalo, I mean, could we go for Benzema? I mean, it would be an upgrade. Or we could get Griezmann. I mean, he is also incredibly good. Or do I just want a workhorse in the middle in Kante? France is so difficult, you know. I think I'm going to go Griezmann. I want his attacking versatility in this team. I think he's going to be really good. He also happens to love Football Manager, so it feels right picking him for a Football Manager video. So the first 3 picks have been so good, I haven't actually had to explain stick or twist yet. But I might have to for this next pick, which ends up being Albania. There are literally 0 names I recognise here, so I don't really know how good they are. But I think this guy is Napoli's backup keeper. He looked like he could do a job, you know. But am I 100% happy? I don't think so. So we're going to start playing this game of stick or twist. If we stick, we keep Berisha. Or we can twist and spin the wheel again, but we have to stick with that new country. And I think I want to remove Albania and spin the wheel again. I'm going for a twist on this. We've got to get given a better country with better players, and instead, we've been given Spain. That is the perfect example of twisting. Bro, this team is going to be absolutely stacked. But I think if we've got Alaba on the left, we need Carvajal on the right. For pick number 5, hopefully the wheel is going to continue its trend of being very nice to us. It's giving us Romania. Maybe we'll find some talent there. Technically, this guy looks pretty good until you look at his physicals and like 11 pace. And this is sort of the best guy I can find. So we're going to twist. Let's spin the wheel again and see what it gives us. And this time we're going to... Oh, it's not worked out. Eswatini, or you may know it as Swaziland. All the players are playing domestically in Eswatini, which makes me think they're not very good, really. And of course, we have to stick with them because that's what stick or twist means. So we are stuck, I think, with this guy, who's the best person I can find. That's the risky play sometimes with stick or twist. Hopefully this time we're going to get a higher ranking FIFA nation, but we've just been given Togo. You know what, actually? They've got Dejene here at Getafe, and he looks pretty solid, actually. Maybe this was a good pick. Ignore the fact he's a centre-back with only 9 heading and 10 jumping reach. We could do a lot worse than this. Let's get Dejene into the team. Right, pick number 7. We are burning through these picks pretty quickly now. Who's it going to be? We have been given Lesotho. Yeah, they all play domestically. I just assume none of them are any good. We've got the option to twist. Let's twist. I don't think we can do much worse. But maybe I'm being harsh on Lesotho there. Let's see what comes up here instead. Oh, this is much better. Switzerland. What a perfect twist. Now, we could go for Granit Xhaka to have an absolute midfield maestro, and actually, looking at his mentals, I am so tempted. But if we go for Jan Sommer instead, I don't think we're going to find many goalkeepers better than him over the age of 30. Oh, I don't know what to do. This is actually so difficult. Right, I'm going to flip a coin. Heads is Jan Sommer. Tails, I am to say tails, it's heads. We're going Jan Sommer. Guys, this team already is just so good. Apart from the CDM, he's kind of like that little clown meme with the soldiers, if you know what I'm talking about. Right, next pick. Let's find out where we're going as the wheel spins around to give us... Oh, no way. I mean, obviously, we're not going for anyone else other than Lionel Messi. I mean, I kind of want to get Andorra now. I'd just love to have an Andorran player as a backup to Lionel Messi. We have been given instead, is it going to be, it's the USA. It was just creeping into Jamaica, but no, USA. Although there aren't actually that many great American players over the age of 30. Tim Ream could maybe do a job, but I'm just a little bit hesitant with his lack of pace. Walker Zimmerman is slightly faster though. Or do we twist? Let's do it, let's twist. For this to work out, we need, I don't know, Portugal to get Pepe or something like that. Instead, it's not worked out. It's really not worked out here. Oh no, it actually has worked out. I did not realise Kondogbia was from the Central African Republic. He is way better than Walker Zimmerman or Tim Ream. And it does mean we can get the guy from Swaziland out of the starting lineup. I feel like I am frauding my way to an incredible team here. We've been so lucky with the wheel. Surely at some point it's going to come crashing down. And to be fair, I thought we were going to Thailand. Slovenia is not bad at all. Now, I always get this mixed up. Is Oblak Slovenian or Slovakian? He is Slovenian! Fantastic! We've already got a keeper, though. I mean, we could do with another keeper. You know, you've got to have a backup keeper in there. The only other pick would be Kevin Campbell. And actually, he looks pretty good. For the sake of squad depth, I think Campbell might be the better option to go for. Particularly as we are early on and we're getting some nice picks. You know, it could all change later on. Ironically, Campbell is worse than Xhaka and Oblak is better than Sommer. So actually, we've not done ourselves any favours by what we've done, really. We should have done it the other way around. When you've only got players in like the German lower divisions and the Indian Premier League, I don't think Afghanistan is the one. We're going to twist. I think there's a higher upside here when we twist. There's not many places we can go to where there's not going to be better players. But Dominican Republic might be one of the places that doesn't have as good players. This centre-back is the best I can find. And actually, fundamentally, you know, his heading's 14, his passing is 12, his tackling's 13, positioning a bit low, physical's a bit low, but, you know, if he's the best we can find, he's not that bad. Right, pick number 12. We are fast approaching the halfway point. And we've been given Sri Lanka. You know what, I'm not even going to look, I'm just going to twist straight away. Sri Lanka have got one of the lowest FIFA rankings in the world, which to me says they don't have many good footballers. I think most players we can go to here are going to be better. Oh, it's Libya, not Portugal. We're so close. Libya should have a few decent players. I mean, this guy plays for Bari in Serie B. He actually doesn't look that bad, to be fair. And having looked through a few of these other guys, he's probably the best of a bad bunch. Ahmed Ben Ali, welcome to the team. I feel like the wheel is turning on us. We're now starting to get a few not so good picks. If we can finally get somewhere good. And actually, Iran's not a bad shout, you know. Because they have Taremi, who actually is a better striker than Igalo, I think, looking at him here. I think this is actually a really good pick. Iran underrated. They always make the World Cup. But we're now being given a team that I don't think has ever made the World Cup. Antigua. From what I can see, this is their best player, Peter Byers, and he's no Igalo, so I don't think we'll be going for Antigua. So we spin the wheel again, twisting on Antigua, and the wheel is hopefully going to be kind to us, and it's given us, it's not much better really. If anything, this might be worse. I mean, they all play domestically, or they play in Hong Kong. I mean, this guy's got 15 pace. You know, Football Manager loves pace. We have to pick someone. Let's get this guy as a backup left back. But ideally, he won't be... Oh, but Alaba gets injured. Oh, he might play a lot. He might play a lot. That's something to worry about. Oh, we just missed out on Italy. Instead, we've been given Jamaica, who actually do have a few decent players. They have taken a few players who have got Jamaican heritage, which means the likes of Ethan Pinnock could be quite nice, you know. But do we go for a safe pair of hands as a backup goalkeeper? Andre Blake is an MLS legend, I think. You know what? I think it makes the most sense, if I'm honest with you. So if we did twist, this is what would have come up. Instead, it's our first spin of pick number 16, and it's Eritrea. So actually, going for Jamaica there, sticking with them, made a lot of sense. Otherwise, we would have got a much worse pick. I'm not even going to look at Eritrean players. I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to spin again. I think we have to twist straight away on that and see what the wheel gives us. Hopefully, it's something kind. And they've given us... Oh, it's right in between Mali and Uruguay. Two amazing countries. Mongolia. I feel so much better about locking in Jamaica though. This is the best player I can find from Mongolia. I don't think he'd even play in like the National League North or South, and yet we've got to put him in our Premier League team. Just looking at my notes though, I've realised we've not got a left winger yet. That's quite important. Although Griezmann could play there. I think it is a position that we need to be prioritising. So hopefully we get a country now that's got amazing left wingers, and we've been given Venezuela. Let's see what they've got. They actually do have a left winger who's got 16 pace. His composure is a little bit too low for my liking though. So Thomas Rincon is an option, but we already have a couple of centre defensive midfielders and centre mids. He is very good though. Or do we add strength at centre back with Mikel? Now, I've just said we have to prioritise left wing. Let's get this guy and I hope we can find someone else better later on so he becomes a backup. So for pick number 18, we need the wheel to give us, I don't know, just like a top tier nation, which I say every single time. It's instead given us Laos. Yeah, this is the best guy I can find. We have to twist because you are not cutting it in the Premier League. But will the twist make or break the squad? Instead, we've been given Cameroon. That's better. That's more like it. Now, we do have some good forwards already. Eric Choupo-Moting could be an option to add depth there, but I think we're silly if we don't go Joel Matip. I mean, he just is one of the best defenders over the age of 30. And actually, we do need more centre-backs, so it's a good job he's in the team. I feel like we haven't had much from South America yet. We've had obviously Argentina, we've had Venezuela. We could do with, I thought it was Bolivia, but it's Bosnia. That's actually a good shout, you know. I feel like we already have enough strikers. I mean, Edin Dzeko would be so good to bring in. I mean, look at his mentals and his physicals, to be fair. Incredible, incredible stuff. But I think Pjanic could add an extra dimension in the midfield for us. Just ignore his physicals because they are atrocious. Despite that, let's get him in. I think we need that more cover in the centre midfield. With 6 picks to go, we actually could do with more depth in the back line and at right back. And do we take a gamble on the legend that is Sunil Chhetty? It is actually quite tempting, you know. It also lets me put India in the thumbnail, and then Indian viewers will go mental for that. So, based off that alone, in he comes. I mean, we have far too many strikers already, but you know, the opportunity's there. You've got to take it in these situations. For our next pick, we've been given Nicaragua. Burkina Faso would be really good. Nicaragua, I'm not even going to look. I'm just going to twist straight away, I'm afraid. Let's find out where we're going to be going. For pick number 21, we've been given... Maybe we should have just stuck with... This video started so well with like France and Argentina. Although, to be fair, this fella is actually all right. We do need a backup right back. He can play with both feet, can play both wings. I don't really see an issue. Ideally, another centre-back and maybe some backup wingers further up the field as well. We're a little bit light on the ground there. Anguilla in the Caribbean. It does say something when the best player I can find there is a striker and also a centre-back. Let's twist. And so this time, instead, we've been given... It's not a whole lot better with Lithuania, but they do have a guy who can play on both wings. Obviously, he's not as good as Messi, but he's the player we are being forced to pick right now. Pick 23, we're down to our final 3 picks. Please be kind to us, and it's given us, you know, this is good actually, Ecuador. We need some cover at centre-back, and Robert Arboleda is the best I can... He's not that good, if I'm honest with you. I'm getting tempted to twist. Hear me out, we have a very good starting lineup, so we're looking for the best possible backups, and if we're lucky, someone who can come into the starting lineup. I think I want to gamble on finding someone better than this guy. So I'm just hoping that the wheel is going to be kind to us here and help us out massively. If only Al Habsi was still playing football, he'd be a great pick here. Instead, we'll go for this centre-back, who isn't as good as the guy we had from Ecuador. Look, we've got to gamble sometimes, and I took a gamble there, and it didn't pay off. But I believe one day that we will get something good, just like I'm going to win the lottery one day. And Australia could be our lottery winner. Saying that, the best player they've got is Matthew Ryan, who's a goalkeeper. And then the next best player is probably this other guy who's also a goalkeeper. I'm twisting. I'm doing it again. I'm going to gamble and I'm going to twist and hope we get Italy still on the board, right? So is Hungary. We just missed... Oh, no. I mean, they have a left winger, which is what we need. He won't do much for us, but at least we'll have him. So now it all comes down to this final pick. Please be kind to us, Wheel. Please be kind to us. And it's given us Guyana. No, I'm removing that. We're twisting. Straight away, we are twisting here. So as we twist, what is going to come up for the very final country? Oh, I thought it was going to be Japan. Mozambique. We were so close to England and Italy as well. Saying that, I think I have found the perfect utility man. I think there's going to be a lot of injuries in this team, and so we need someone to cover a few positions. Or maybe all of them, apart from centre-back. I mean, this guy can apparently play anywhere on the pitch. Apart from centre-back, that is a very specialised area he's not specialised in. So when I was putting this team together, I had a 4-3-3 in mind, as you've seen me building throughout the video. I've looked through the players, and if I was the manager building for a 4-3-3, this is what I would have done. However, I think actually there is a better formation out there that suits the players that we've got better. I actually think because we've got a lot of attacking talent, a 4-4-2 diamond is the way to go. We don't have much talent on the wings. We haven't really got amazing wingers. You could argue that Messi plays on the right and Griezmann plays on the left, but I think they're more effective like this in a diamond. So if I was the manager, I would be playing this. But I'm not the manager. I'm giving 10 real-life managers the chance to see what they can do with this team. I've moved all the players to Man City because Man City have the best staff and facilities in the Premier League in the game. So it makes sense that we have Pep Guardiola as our first manager. Now he prefers a 4-3-3 as you can see here. So similar to what I was going with when I was building the formation, I was trying to pick players for a 4-3-3. Pep's gonna do that. But will he actually be able to get good results out of the team? It turns out no. Man City have come 6th in the Premier League, a whopping 25 points off Liverpool on the top spot, who have run away with the league. It is worth pointing out though that Liverpool have signed Erling Haaland after I released him from this Man City team. And given he is an absolute machine in Football Manager, that will skew things a bit. So Pep did go with a 4-3-3, playing Griezmann on the left and Messi on the right. Interestingly, he had Kondogbia in the centre of midfield with Kevin Campbell as that holding midfielder. But everything else is pretty much the exact same as I would have done. It's not a bad goal return for Messi, Griezmann and Taremi, 16, 18 and 16 in all competitions this season. But there are no goals from anyone else on the pitch. Ighalo comes on to get 8 every now and again. But I think the reason they didn't do quite so well is because there just weren't other players contributing to goals. So next up, let's go for Pep's big rival in the Premier League, Jurgen Klopp. He also plays a 4-3-3, but slightly different tactical styles, control possession for Jurgen, whereas Pep was more tiki-taka. But I think tiki-taka might suit our players a little bit better. And I was kind of right and wrong, because Man City have finished higher in 5th place this season, but it is with 4 fewer points than they secured with Pep Guardiola. So I'm not quite sure who we rank as the better manager here. They've done very, very similar, basically. Interestingly, he's gone for the exact same lineup in the 4-3-3 as Pep Guardiola. Every player is in the same position. The interesting thing is, though, Messi, Griezmann and Taremi have less goals, but Ighalo and Kondogbia have a lot more. Kevin Campbell also included in there with 4 goals too. So there's more goals across the team, but the players who are meant to be scoring the most goals aren't really doing that. I don't know, I think I have to say it's a bit of a dead heat between those two right now. I think Don Carlo is going to do better than both of them because his preferred formation is a 4-4-2 diamond, which I think personally is the best. The only downside is the tactical style is wing play, which is a little bit concerning given there aren't many wingers. I guess our fullbacks are going to be pushing forward as complete wingbacks to provide the width in the team. But he's only guided Man City to 8th in the table with the lowest points total so far. My assumption is that in the match engine, the Diamond doesn't play as well as the 4-3-3, but also I think Don Carlo could be a bit of an idiot here because supposedly he's played Griezmann at centre mid all season, Ighalo as the attacking midfielder behind Taremi and Messi. Surely you have Taremi, Griezmann, Messi, Kondogbia and another combination of midfielders in there, unless of course there's been a big injury. Saying that, Pjanic has played 43 games, so I guess there hasn't been a big injury to him. 21 goals for Lionel Messi though, I guess he has got the best out of him so far in terms of goal contributions, and Griezmann has scored 18 from the centre of midfield, so maybe I'm being a bit harsh on Don Carlo here, but again, outside of those players, there aren't a huge amount of goals, apart from Darwin, who's got 8 from 22 games. Who knew the Venezuelan would be so effective in a Carlo Ancelotti diamond when he plays as a left inside forward? Let's go for Thomas Tuchel next. He plays a 4-2-3-1 with 2 more deep midfielders, which I think might suit our style. I don't think our backline is the very best in terms of centre-backs, so having 2 slightly deeper midfielders might help out the team a little bit defensively, which means they can win more games with the attacking talent they have. Or they could do the worst we've seen so far and finish down in 10th place. Interestingly, he favoured Ighalo over Taremi as the starting striker. Played similar amount of games, 37 for Ighalo, 31 for Taremi, but they could be sub-appearances for Taremi. Ighalo certainly got more goals, but I think the disappointment this time is actually that Darwin only got 5 goals from a left wing as an inside forward, I presume. He got way more goals in less appearances for Don Carlo, and then Griezmann and Messi also not scoring as many goals, so it does look like goal scoring was the issue here. But I mean, actually, Tuchel isn't that great of a manager, is he? Because he lost the title for Bayern Munich this season, which seems like an impossible thing to do. So let's go for the man who deposed Tuchel, Xabi Alonso of Bayer Leverkusen, who won the Bundesliga this past season. He likes to play a 3-4-2-1. Now, this is an interesting formation, actually. Not many managers in-game like to use this. So I'd be intrigued to see how well it translates to Man City. And actually, it's not worked out brilliantly. 8th place in the Premier League, only 54 points, 6 points away from European positions. I guess what Alonso wants to do doesn't translate well to this team. I think Messi, Taremi and Griezmann as an advanced 3 is really, really good. I think the issue is, like we said, centre-back. There's just not enough depth there. We've got Cesar Garcia here, who is not a Premier League footballer looking at him. I wish he was. He's just not. But maybe it was just too defensive, invited too much pressure on. So let's go for Inzaghi instead, who likes a 5-3-2, this isn't it? It's not quite as defensively solid, which means you're not inviting quite so much pressure on. Or it could be the worst we've seen so far. 11th place in the table, 50 points, miles away from the European places, and the 37 points off the title. Mad. Interestingly, he chose to play Alaba as a right centre-back, not a left centre-back, and Darwin as the left wing-back, which actually kind of does make sense for defensive stability. You know, he's got to get forward and provide crosses. He's meant to be quite an attacking player, and Alaba can be quite solid defensively. So actually, that makes a lot of sense playing them like that. But clearly, it just didn't quite work out as well. I'm guessing there was a bit of a disconnect between the midfield and the attackers, particularly if these guys can't get forward as the wingbacks. I'm surprised by that. I thought this would do a lot better. So let's go for Arteta. The 4-3-3 seems to be working the best right now, so let's see what this Spaniard can do with the team. Oh my word, no. Ooh. Oh, Man City in 15th place. That is Is he still at the club? Has he been sacked? He has been sacked. Thomas Tuchel's now the manager. Yeah, Arteta was sacked in December, only 166 days in the job. The interim manager came in for the rest of the season. Tuchel's only just joined the club at the end of the season, so he hasn't had any part in this. This has been all we're doing of Mikel Arteta and Ben Wilkinson. Well, that one did not go to plan. Let's go for a formation that we've not seen yet. And Unai Emery's 4-2-4, which is very attacking and could work quite nicely because we do have a lot of attacking talent. And it has worked out for Man City this season. They've come in 5th place, securing Champions League football. 74 points as well, which I think is the highest we've seen so far. So Unai Emery is winning. Interesting, he went for Messi on the right-hand side and Griezmann up top alongside Taremi. But it worked out because Messi got 20 goals and Griezmann and Taremi both got 19 goals. Did not have my money on Unai Emery being the best here so far. So maybe getting more players further forward is what needs to be done. So let's use Gareth Southgate here, who likes a 4-2-3-1, and is a fairly mediocre 9th place, which I'd expect more from Gareth Southgate, after taking England to their best World Cup performances since they won it. And it is the lineup that you would be expecting. But there aren't many goals in this team. Messi only got 11, Griezmann only got 10. I think that's the lowest we've seen either of those guys get from any manager. So let's move on to the final manager, and it is the best manager in the entire world. It's not actually me, it's Michael Skubala, who of course is the Lincoln City manager. In-game, his actual preferred formation is a 4-4-2, but that's not strictly true. In real life, it is a 5-2-1-2 that he has been playing with Lincoln City, so I did change that in the editor to make sure that's reflected in-game, so he actually plays what he does in real life. But I suspect, because he's the best manager in the world, we're going to see him win the Premier League. Okay, maybe he didn't win the Premier League, but actually, he's one of the better managers we've seen. He's finished in the European places, finished in 6th, 59 points. It's not quite as good as Pep or Klopp, but it is certainly a lot better than the likes of Southgate and Arteta. I think the issue with the team, though, as we look through it, there just wasn't enough good depth in it. And that's, of course, thanks to the wheel. The wheel just didn't really give us much in the way of great choice. If you enjoyed this video, I know you're going to love this one, where we did the exact same thing, but we had to build an amazing team of under 21 players. And the wheel wasn't as kind to us as it was in this one. It took a long time to get a nice country. It took a long time to get a high-ranking FIFA nation, so if you enjoy watching me squirm, this one's for you.